Hello everyone, my name is Jenny and now I can tell you a story about a life of a rose. Now I can tell you. A life of a rose. Once upon a time there was a beautiful young fairy. She lives in a castle in the clouds. She had a best friend who was a beautiful white flower. Inside the flower there was many little bees taking honey, and the fairy called it Daisy. Daisy is the best queen, the best flower that the fairy loves. And one day, the fairy accidentally dropped a little beautiful red seeds down earth. And then the little seeds was on the ground. The fairy was worried about the nature down earth, so she made rain. The daisy grew more and more beautiful, but suddenly the rain has attracted the seeds, and the seeds grow into a little plant. Soon a desert had came. The weather was so hot, Daisy could not keep it anymore. So God gave her waters and rains, and then when the rain poured down, the rose grew into a beautiful flower. It was called Anemones of a Rose. The daisy was jealous. The rose grew near Daisy, and the daisy was jealous of the beauty of the rose. Soon, the fairy became the best friend of the rose, not Daisy anymore. Daisy was very angry and jealous of Rose. Roses are the most beautiful flower in the entire kingdom. She was jealous and wanted to take her away from this desert, and she was the only one who was the most beauty of all the marine creatures. And then the daisy wanted to kill Rose for trying to offend herself. But then the fairy started to looking after the rose by her raindrops. And then, when the last day of the years have came, the queen and the mother of the others had made a rainy storm. And then all the plants grew in the desert. Soon it was a beautiful, starry little garden. And one day, Rose became the most beautiful flower in the entire kingdom. The daisy was more jealous than ever. So she sees a fox. The fox was going to a pond near Daisy and Rose. The fox was very thirsty from the deserts, so he tried to find waters. Soon he found the ponds. Then he finally found it. When he was about to reach it and drink waters, the daisy stopped the fox. "Hello, Foxy," she always says. "What are you doing here?" The fox says, "How you know my name?" "Hello, Daisy. I know that you're the best friend of the fairy of nature," the fox always says. And then Daisy says, "Not anymore." She says, "What? The fairy should love you more than everything in the world or in the entire spaceships." No. I truly have a fan of myself. That rose is the petting magic of the fairy. I want you to take it away from here, so I am the only beauty in this entire kingdom of flowers," she says. The fox says, "Oh, of course not, Daisy. You must be the beauty of flowers, but Rose is the friend of the fairy, so I don't dare to touch her." But the fairy was watching. She was worried that the fox might kill her dear Rose, and she was watching it carefully. The fox says, "If I killed her, the fairy will punish me and put me down the lava in the volcanoes. I can never do that," he always says. Daisy was angry. She says, "Oh dear, you stupid foxy. Came and tell a plan to me." soon the fox transformed into a human. And then he walked closely when the fairy was sleeping. The fairy was sleeping, don't know what it's doing. He was about to pick the flower up. Suddenly, a dragon came. He was the rose god. And then he flew towards the fox and grabbed him with his angry tails. Then he swallowed him up in the stomach. And then he make a plan. He tells the fairy. The fairy was very angry. And she says, "How dare my dear Daisy have to kill my beautiful rose? I will make her disappear and I will destroy Daisy, and she will not destroy Rose of my friend." The fairy cast a spell, and suddenly a big, scary Bigfoot appears. The Bigfoot grabbed Daisy and ate it munchy. When the Daisy was in the Bigfoot's stomach, the fairy turned him back to reality. That's right, I am here to... where is this mommy? Inform you that you will never hurt Rose again, she always says. And soon Rose became a human. She was the fairy of the next part of the rose, and soon the garden was full of rose and beautiful fearless girls and beautiful nightingales singing around. And the fairy would always visit down Earth to take care of her rose. And that is the story of the rose life, retold by me, Janet, from SnorriDory.com.